Hold up, what's the 411 on this cat? He's a cop watcher, a truth teller, laying it all bare, shining a light on injustice, showing he just don't care about their intimidation tactics, that twisted up lies. He's got a camera in their face, watching with his own eye. Going down the street in my hoopty, feeling the bass, see them blue and reds flashing all up in my face. Another traffic stop, another power truck display. License and registration is all they ever say, but I know my rights. See, I ain't no fool. They wanna play games, but I'm keeping my cool. I don't answer questions, that's my opening line. Got them frustrated, messing with their whole design. They pull me over, flashing lights so bright, asking dumb questions, trying to start a fight. Are you a sovereign citizen with a smirk and a sneer? Fuck you, I'm not a cop, it's all they're gonna hear. Got my camera rolling, every move they make, for every crooked cop, for goodness sake. This is for the people who've been pushed around. John Felix on the scene, holding it down. Talk about officer safety, a tired old excuse for violating liberties and all kinds of abuse. They think that badge gives them a right to be the king, but we the people pay the salary and we're the ones who sing the song of freedom, the anthem of the just, exposing that corruption in the system we don't trust. From illegal searches to tyrannical demands, I stand my ground firmly with the law in my hand. They pull me over, flashing lights so bright, asking dumb questions, trying to start a fight. Are you a sovereign citizen with a smirk and a sneer? Fuck you, I'm not a cop, is all they're gonna hear. Got my camera rolling, every move they make, for every crooked cop, for goodness sake. This is for the people who've been pushed around. John Felix on the scene, holding it down. They talk of lies, this ain't no game. Know your amendments, speak their name. The first, the fourth, the fifth, that's a trifecta. Protects you from the goons who wanna disrespect you. They might have the weapons, they might have the crew, but knowledge is power, me and you, we know it's true. So next time you see him with that arrogant swagger, remember John Felix, the lyrical dagger. Peace to the auditors, the watchers in the street, keeping the pressure on, can't be beat. Fuck you, I'm not a cop, it's all they're gonna hear. Got my camera rolling, every move they make, for every crooked copper, for goodness sake. They talk of people who've been pushed around. John Felix on the scene, holding it down. They pull me over, flashing lights so bright, asking dumb questions, trying to start a fight. Are you a sovereign citizen with a smirk and a sneer? Fuck you, I'm not a cop, is all they're gonna hear. Got my camera rolling, every move they make, for every crooked cop, for goodness sake. This is for the people who've been pushed around. John Felix on the scene, holding it down. Holding it down. Word to the wise, this ain't no game. Know your amendments, speak their name. The first, the fourth, the fifth, that's a trifecta. Protect you from the goons who wanna disrespect ya. They might have the weapons, they might have the crew, but knowledge is power, me and you, we know it's true. True, next time you see them, that arrogant swagger, remember John Felix, the lyrical dagger. Peace to the auditors, the watchers in the street, keeping the pressure on, can't be beat. But don't make yours too.
Yeah, does this song ever end? What's up, everybody? Welcome. Oh, there's 83 comments. Holy crap. How's it going, everyone? I'll see if I could say hi to as many people as possible real quick, and then we'll get right into it. Vinny, what's up? Ian is the man. How about that? Oh, let me put the comments on the screen. There it is. Oh, it just started to. So Vinny says that Ian's the man. D-Man216, I was a huge fan back in the day. Hate the state. Tommy V, holy crap. Ian's a legend. Is Ian back? Question mark, says Dan. Hi, everyone. Robert says. Golden Wolf. Grande Willie says who? His name's Ian McGuire. He's one of the original auditors, and he's going to tell his story here in a minute. Ian was a martyr. Well, let's see what he has to say. Anybody else see John? Yeah, I was in Liberty Trolls video today. I'll be covering that tomorrow. Bill knows nothing about this, so it should be interesting. Chuck Bronson's here. Andrew Bush. Dude was sending dead animals in the mail, wasn't he? I don't know. Let's see what he has to say about that. Jill V. XX Geo's here. What's up? Angel K. Q the Audit. What's up? Tom Huxley. All right. There's way too many of you guys in here, man. So thank you. Rami, hi. Gerald Vanu, what up? Patty Casey. I used to love watching Ian's channel. but it's been so long I've forgotten why I stopped. Remember that he did get locked up for some BS charges. Let's see what he has to say about that. Howard Clegg, Angel K. I'm just going to read the members right now because there's too many. Claudette, hi. All right. So, Ian McGuire, I'll just tell you what I know, which isn't that much. He was one of the originals out in Punta Gorda. Punta Gorda is like it's a city on the Gulf Coast of Florida, and a lot of snowbirds go there to retire. In other words, people from up north who hate the winter come down here in the winter, and then they go back up home in the summer because they get the best climate all year round. And Punta Gorda is basically a snowbird town, and they really believe in tyrannical legislation up north. That's another reason why I left up north, because Florida was supposed to be so much better, especially when I came down 20-some years ago, especially for the gun laws. You could actually carry a pistol in Florida where you couldn't do it in Ohio. Thank you, Thomas Huxley, man. That's very nice of you. If you guys like to join us, 99 cents a month, and you guys are really what keeps me going here. So Ian's waiting in the background here. He reached out to me on Facebook. I reached out to him. I told him I'd have him on for a live stream. I really want to hear a story. And we're going to ask any questions you want me to ask. Put them here in the comments, and he'll do the best he can. He said he's got some active litigation still, so let's see. And let's bring him up. And there he is. The man.
How are we doing, John?
Oh, you broke up a little bit there. Say that again.
I said, how are we doing today, John?
Good, sir. How are you? Can everybody hear Ian okay? I hope so. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. And yeah, so welcome. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Anything I can do to help, you know?
All right, man. So I basically, when I do these interviews, I just do the whole storyline. Like, let's go back. How many years would you say let's go back to when you started auditing. What year was that?
2015, 2016, something like that.
All right, so 2015. What were you doing before you became an auditor, so to speak?
I guess just being a normal person, living, working a job.
What'd you do for work?
Back in those days, I used to be a CNA, a nursing assistant. I was a security guard for a while. I worked as a cook in a restaurant. Probably had some other odds and ends here and there.
Okay, and is there something specific that made you want to start auditing, or what?
Man, it's a cumulative thing over years.
Like what?
I mean, the first time I was arrested by the police, I was 11 years old for getting in a fight with some kid at school because I threw a sweater at him. So they charged me with disrupting a school function. And then my first adult charge, I was 18. They arrested me for refusing to sign a citation because this cop stopped me for not having the blinking red light on the bicycle. And he actually forgot to have me sign the citation and came to my house at like 3:30 in the morning when he was finishing his shift, banging on the window with like 4 other cops shining lights in my house and scaring the shit out of my mom that I lived with at the time because I was still a teenager. And then I kind of told the guy, hey, man, well, that's your fault. Fuck you. And then so they lied and said that.
Try not to cuss too much, okay? All right, go ahead.
Okay, well.
So you told him after you. Okay, and then what happened?
So he told a lie and said that I had refused to sign it and then took me to jail for that. And,
That night
at like 3:30 in the morning for that.
Okay.
And I'd had several other incidents with him over the years. My father, unfortunately, got diagnosed with a terminal disease and decided to take his own life. And I had the misfortune of finding him like that after a couple of days not hearing from him. You know, he was already elderly at that time. And I called the police, and then one of the cops said that he thought that I had done this to him, trying to rob him. And because my dad kept large sums of money in the house because he was renting some properties that he owned, and It was all fictitious and not true, obviously.
What was
And
fictitious? The large amounts of money, or the
the
fact that
allegation made by one of the detectives that he thinks I staged the crime scene and made it look
oh
like I
they tried to blame you for your father's death? Is that what you're saying?
for his suicide. Yeah.
So is
Well,
this all happening in the same city, like the
this was
school?
over here in Charlotte. The suicide stuff was when my dad was in Charlotte County. The two other things when I was a juvenile, when I was 18, that was Henry County. But there's been other stuff that's gone on too in my life with police that's made me not like them. There was another incident over here in Charlotte County where some my friend had a problem with some guy, and the guy told a lie that we came to his house and threatened him with a gun. And even though there was a girl there saying that that wasn't true, they still charged us with aggravated assault. I had to hire a lawyer, bond out of jail, do all this stuff. Um,
So did you have
and
did you have convictions before you started auditing?
I actually don't think I had any criminal convictions. I might have
Nothing.
had one for possession of alcohol by a minor or some stupid shit like that. Yeah, there was when I shot the armadillo at the hunting reserve over the roadway. They came and they gave me a ticket, and then they found a bottle of liquor in my car. It was minor stuff, dude.
Okay. So you pick up a camera. Like, did you watch auditing before you started auditing? Did you like specific auditors? What made you want to
Yeah,
start doing that?
I was watching Honor Your Oath. Actually, the thing that made me go off the cliff with them was I used to go out. There's a public shooting range, Cecil Webb. It's one of the big ones here. That's where I first started doing videos. So they have a public gun range. It's publicly funded. They decided that because they they had a thing go on there. You can look it up online. They got these things called range safety officers that work out there for the state, and they make like minimum wage. But what they were doing was they were stealing all the brass from the range
Oh,
to to sell and keep for themselves. You can look this up.
I believe it.
The one Yeah, and so what they decided was that because this happened, even though it has no connection to people that actually go there and shoot, from now on, people have to go there and show a driver's license and sign in and go to the gun range. And I was like, you know what? This is really becoming some BS with government, man. And that was really because that was one of my few little like refuges in life was be able to go out there, exercise the Second Amendment, bro, not be bothered. And now because someone that worked for the government decided to steal things, now I have to show identification to come out here and use the gun range.
So before the ID thing, you could just walk into this public gun range. You didn't have to sign in or anything.
No, there's like what they call like an iron ranger out front. It's like a steel box that you put an envelope with the $3 to shoot for the day. But if you have what they call a lifetime hunting thing or whatever, you don't even have to use the iron ranger. You just put in the envelope. I have a lifetime thing or something, and just put it in the box. But you don't have to sign or do anything. It's public land. You can just drive out there.
Oh, okay. And you just put an envelope with your name, huh? That's pretty cool.
You don't even have to put your name on the envelope. You just put the $3
Put
or
money
I
in.
have a lifetime. Yeah, you can go in there completely anonymous,
And was it based on the honor system, basically?
Basically on the honor system, yeah. So some people, I guess, maybe they didn't pay their $3, but
Sure. And then the government hired range officers started stealing the brass to cash in its value, or take it and recycle it at home, probably. And then they punished everybody else by making them surrender their right to privacy to go there.
Yeah, basically that's what happened. And actually, when I was a kid, see, because I've been going out there since I was 4 or 5 years old with my dad. Way back in the day, they didn't even have the range safety officer guy. Like what the range safety officer guy does is he sits there and tells everybody, cold line, don't touch your guns. People are going out to change their targets.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be his job. But he was actually a new thing. They'd only been there a couple of years before they decided to start stealing all the brass off the gun range. They're supposed to take the brass and sell it and then donate the funds to the FWC that owns the land out there for land management.
Oh, okay. All right. So that made you want to pick up a camera. That was like the last straw.
That was the final straw on top of many things. That was really what pissed me off. That was the last thing in a line of things.
So, okay, a culmination of all those things. Now you pick up a camera, and what are you thinking to yourself? I'm going to go record what?
Well, I started going out there and recording the range people. They started calling the cops on me, and then I actually got a reporter involved because I'd found out that in Florida, if you create a registry of gun owners, it's a third-degree felony, which is actually basically what they were doing by copying everyone's driver's license that goes out to use the gun range. There's a reporter here, I forget his name. Actually, you can read this newspaper article online also. You can look it up. So he got involved with an attorney, and they quit doing it. And then at the same time, the next time I went up to the range, they had one of the FWC wildlife guys trespass me for the rest of my life from all 960,000 acres of the Babcock Cecil Webb Wildlife Preserve. So I can never go back there again or I get arrested.
Wow. For taking pictures.
For taking pictures and getting the media involved in their bullshit they were doing illegally up there. Yeah.
Okay. So, was there any other auditors you were hanging out with at that point?
You know what? I was really, for the most part, just a solo guy. A lot of people are afraid to go out there and film these, even today. Film cops and do all that. They're really afraid.
Dangerous. It's dangerous.
It is.
Okay. So, are you affiliated with Andy Sheets at all? I forgot to ask you on the phone.
It's hit or miss. We talk to each other sometimes. We have before in the past.
Were you and him friends? Like, did you hang out? Did you audit together? Sorry.
Oh, no, we never audited or any of that. Just mainly talk online, and then, there was some bad blood for a while, I'd say.
Well, out of every auditor in the world, the only one I openly don't like is Andy Sheets, bro, because he doesn't know when to stop. He's got no line, so to speak. So, okay.
Well, so I was trying not to say anything bad about the guy, you know what I mean? Because I try to be the bigger person, you know what I mean? So
you can be the bigger person. That guy bugged me so bad. He never took a hint. It's his way or no way, and the way he treats government is the way he treats everybody. There's got to be an activist side of you, and there's got to be the way you treat people, normal people. Having a disdain towards government is one thing, man, but when you take that and apply it to people who haven't done anything, that are just normal people, it's a different ballgame. They're not violating your rights. Anyway, forget him. So you start with the gun range, which I had no idea there was such thing as a public gun range. That's pretty awesome. Then you get trespassed from there. Then you record. Where do you go from there?
Several of them.
There's several of them?
Well, that's actually how the sheriff's office. Well, yeah, there's several of those public gun ranges. There's one up there in something rocks. 3 Rocks, Talladega. There's like 4 of them here. You can look it up on the FWC website. They're all supposed to be public.
You're cracking up a little bit. Yeah, your audio's.
I don't know if they're doing the signing up there, but in fact, I think there's one up there by Tampa area, not too far.
Can you hear me? You can't hear me, can you? No?
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, so it's on your side a little bit. Okay. You got bad internet maybe over there?
I can.
Okay. You're good now. Okay, good. So after the range.
I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, good. So you started at the range, and then what happened? Where'd you go from there?
I'm running off. Am I good now?
Keep going. Do you have headphones by chance?
Well, that's actually where I started filming the sheriff's office because that's who kept coming out there every time the range safety.
Ian, hold on, bro. Ian, you're not coming through at all, bro. Do you have earphones or something? Because all we see is like your mouth moving and then you're just cracking.
My phone for the 5G or whatever. It's only got one bar.
Oh, you're running on 5G. Is maybe you could step outside or hook up to some Wi-Fi? I'll bring you back in just a second. All right, so did you guys know there was a such thing as public gun ranges? I had no idea. I just found out. I knew there's a such thing as municipal golf courses, but if you go to I Am Free Inland Auditing Media, he actually does a municipal golf course audit, and some of the golfers on the golf course started acting stupid. Hey. Nah, still not coming in, bro. I hope this clears up because this sucks. No, I still can't hear you, man. That's even worse. It just got worse. Now you're completely frozen.
Well, I got 5 bars.
Oh, there we go.
What about now?
Now you sound good. All right. So,
hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I am. That good?
You said you got 5 bars now?
Yeah.
All right. Good. Stop right there. Wherever you're at. Stop.
Hello. Damn, dude. I don't know what's going on. Everything always works against me.
There you go.
I do.
Start from you went to the gun range, and then what'd you start doing? Let's go there.
Oh, well, that's why I started filming all the Charlotte County cops, because they were the ones that kept coming out there at first when the range guys would call them.
Okay.
So then after
sheriffs, right?
Yeah, so then after I got trespassed, I was like, these guys are assholes. I mean, not good people. So that's why I started going to their offices, and I would film them in the street. And most of the stuff they do is like very petty. They like to chase people down here on bicycles that don't have lights on them, and try and find a little bit of drugs in their bag. And there's like 10 on every.
Punta Gorda is like a damn gated community. The whole city is.
Well, yeah, Punta Gorda is different from Charlotte County, even though it's in Charlotte County, because they're the actual city. So they have city police and they have city services, except for the jail. They use the county jail.
So when did the legal trouble start? Something about a farmer's market or something?
Oh, yeah. So the county decided that they're going to take the parking lot of the courthouse every weekend to let some guy rent out booths for a farmer's market. And somebody told me about it, that they'd been kicked out of there for going around gathering petitions or signatures for the marijuana petition.
Yeah.
And I was like, the courthouse parking lot and shit, that's like public property. So if I want to go there, even though the government decided to let someone put up a lemonade stand and whatever over there, I should be allowed to do it. So I went over there, I had my traditional fuck the cop sign on, and was in there filming. And like I said, I'm not going to go into things with the victim in my case, because that can cause me problems with probation. But anyway, a person there called the police on me about it, and then the cop told this person that what they should do is go file a restraining order, because they knew that I like guns and it would take my guns away. And the next time I came to the farmer's market, they could arrest me for violating the restraining order. And so this person went and did that.
Okay, so you do realize this is the part people are going to ask a bunch of questions about.
Mm-hmm.
So can I say Lieutenant Lepker? Was Lieutenant Lepker involved?
Yes, he was. Lepker.
Lipner. What is it?
Lepker. Like your lip and her.
Yeah. He's in one of my videos. He trespassed me from one of the buildings there. So if I
listen, bro, he's the one that went and told her. He's the one that went and told her to go do that shit so that he could fuck with me, bro. That guy.
He coached her how to fill out the paperwork, right?
Bro, they were showing her how to file motions. Listen, I'm not gonna get into all of it.
All right.
We can talk about that when I'm off of probation.
So you're on probation right now for the same incident?
For the same shit, because the federal stuff lasts so long, bro. That's why they had me indicted federally. If this stuff went to state court, I'd have been like, I don't know, 18 months in prison and out the door.
Okay, so people are asking about dead animals and poop, because that's when you Google this, they bring up dead animals and poop. What can you say about that, if anything?
I never personally mailed any objects like that to
Whoever?
anyone. So
okay,
you got to remember.
Go ahead.
What's got to be remembered with me was they actually charged me with conspiracy to commit stalking. In other words, other people are doing stuff and I'm allegedly directing them, is what was explained to me by the lawyer.
Oh, so it's not, they're saying someone else did that and you made them do it.
They're saying somebody else did it and I told them to. That's the government's allegation.
And you're on probation. And what'd you get convicted for, if you can tell me? If not, it's fine. Just tell me what you can tell me.
Well, I can tell you what I got convicted of: conspiracy and the underlying charge, stalking. Because you can't just have conspiracy. You have to have like the principle, what they're saying that you did, and then they charge you with conspiracy underneath that. So, in other words, it's a conspiracy. You're with other people. You're telling them what to do, and then they're doing these acts on your behalf, supposedly.
And they claim that they proved this beyond a reasonable doubt in court.
Well, I ended up taking a plea because there was other stuff going on besides the allegation of the poop and stuff, and and whatever. So I wasn't going to win in court.
Right.
And another thing was, if I'd have gone to trial, they were going to give me like 15 years.
Right. Oh, so you were facing 15 years. So they pressured you into a plea deal, basically.
Basically, yeah. The lawyer's like, bro, you're not going to win in here. And they have a crying old lady and all this shit. So, I mean, if you want to play with the Fed, they have like a 97% conviction rate, and they can give you like up to 15 years. You should probably plea this out and limit what they're trying to do to you. So, I kind of took the lawyer's advice and.
Sure. What plea deal did you take, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I pled guilty and I agreed to pay her the ridiculous over $20,000 in restitution that was asked for, and
wow,
agreed to delete the channel and agreed to all this other shit and all this forfeiture. They took all my electronics. They took all my guns. I don't know. It's like a 7-page thing.
Did they take all your stuff for restitution, or are they saying you can't have guns now in the future?
No, it's a combination of things. That, and then they have this thing called what they call fruits of the crime, right? So they're saying that taking her picture or taking this person's picture and whatever and putting it on the internet and all. See, so all the electronic devices were involved in the crime, so they can take all that now. It's a forfeiture.
Oh, like civil asset forfeiture, basically.
Like,
those items were involved in this serious, heinous crime of recording and putting it on YouTube.
Exactly. So we're putting in a forfeiture motion with the government, and he's pleading guilty, so he's agreeing that we take all this shit, basically. So that's what happened. So
they basically bankrupted you, and you probably still owe restitution, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because how do you pay off 20 grand?
Well, I actually pulled a rabbit out of a hat and paid that shit off, believe it or not.
Oh, good. So what's left? Just some probation time?
Yeah, I've done everything else, and I actually filed to get off early. And this is how crazy the people are. I was like, listen, bro, because I got Canadian citizenship because that's where Dad's from. So I was like, listen, y'all guys can have your circus here, bro. I want to go live somewhere else. I'll make you a deal, bro. Let me off probation early. I'll go to Canada, renounce my citizenship, and never come back to this bitch ever again, which y'all should be happy about. And, there you go. And they denied that. They wouldn't give me early termination after I paid the victim off and did everything they wanted.
Oh, wow. So how much time you got left on probation?
Supposedly I get off at the end of March.
So 2026 in March?
2026, because I got 5 years in prison and I got 3 years of what they call supervised release.
So what?
Which is basically like.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I said supervised release, which is basically like the federal version of parole.
And how much time did you actually serve? In prison?
46 months, I want to say.
So
And then I had
basically 4 years.
Yeah, because they have some little. Well, okay, so you do 85%, and then you have little programs you can do in there that take like a month off and stupid shit, and then technically going to the halfway house, which is actually something else that they beat me out of with shit here in Charlotte. I'll tell you about. Counts as part of your sentence. So I was given a year halfway house, but when Charlotte County, so listen to this. This is how evil that they are. So Charlotte County, you know, they had the feds raid my house, right? So when the feds went in there, they went through all my stuff in the house, and then they came outside with literally a bud of marijuana, bro, like this big, that someone had given me. I don't even really smoke pot, but someone had given me, you know, like a little bud of marijuana from some medical stuff. And I had it in a drawer. So they came out, oh, he's got marijuana. So on top of the federal shit, they charged me with the misdemeanor possession of marijuana in state court, which I was trying to get a bond and stuff to be able to get out of jail. So the lawyer's like, this marijuana charge is like holding up the show, bro. If you plead guilty to it, you know, we'll get you sentenced. So once again, listening to a lawyer, did that. And then the judge just wrote on the paper, oh, okay, 180 days in county jail, time served. Basically, all the time that I sat in there. And in the Fed, in the Fed system, they won't run anything concurrent. Everything's consecutive. So when I went to go get sentenced, all the time that I was in the county jail for the first 6 months, they took off the paper. And I was like, hey, man, that was a little bullshit weed charge. That's like 30 or 60 days tops. And then I had to get the lawyer to go to court and do like a clarification of sentence and all this stuff. And they were making a big deal out of it. And then I finally got a clarification from the judge. I think they reduced it to like 45 days or something. I was trying to submit the paperwork while I was in prison so that it would take the time off. Yeah. And then they kept playing around. And they have different levels that you do of grievances. Like the smallest one's like a BP8. That's like to the counselor. And the highest is like the warden. They denied all that shit. So I finally did the one that goes to region in Atlanta. And I'd forgot about it. So then I went to the halfway house, and I was only there like 2 months or something. And the halfway house is supposed to like, okay, you go to work during the day and you come home, you're trying to save money and get your life together so you can have a place to stay when you go on to the supervised release stuff, right? So then they call me in the office there, and then they're like, oh, hey, you got to pack up all your shit and get out now. And I was like, what are you talking about? I have like 8 more months here. And then they're like, oh, yeah, well, your grievance came back. And it turns out that paperwork you submitted 2 years ago, you're right. So we're taking off all that time. You should be happy. I'm like, bro, I've been out of prison like not even 2 months and don't have any money because I've only been working at a restaurant for like a month. And then, bro, trust me, dude. All the things I went through with them, you just can't believe it.
How long you been out?
When I got March 27th, 2023. And I was trying to.
You've been out since 2023?
Yeah, but bro, I haven't been auditing. I've been trying to be good and like do all the things that people want and that they don't appreciate or like.
So, how was the actual jail itself? Tell me about, was it prison or jail?
Oh, I was in jail in Charlotte County here like 20 months, and then Charlotte County just so happened.
Tell me about that. Tell me about the first 20 months or the 20 months in jail. What was that like?
Well, it's like hell, bro. When I was first in there, before I had the federal charges, when they were doing their nonsense with no bond on misdemeanor marijuana and bullshit. So I was in there like 5 months or something. And they put me in with like all crazy meth heads, and it was wild. People detoxing, dirty, eating out of the garbage. They don't have no money. fights every day.
How'd you
They
stay out
got
of trouble? When you were in jail, did you get in any fights or anything like that? Were you feeling scared for your safety in there? Tell me about that stuff.
Oh man, I mean, I had a couple scuffs in there. I ain't gonna lie to you. And then, I mean, I don't know about fear for my safety, just a lot of like misery, you know. And then,
You have to watch your back a lot while you're in there.
well, it ain't like the kind of place where like you got to worry about being stabbed and shit. It's just all the crazy people, bro. This, it's mostly like meth heads and junkies in there, and those people ain't easy to live with, bro. They call them bridge dwellers.
Okay, all right.
But
so after the 20 months in jail, you did another 20 plus somewhere, right?
Oh yeah, I went to federal prison.
Okay, tell me about that, please. What's it like?
Well, they sent me to this place called Coleman Low. That I think they did just to mess with me because it's what they call a dropout yard. So it's all either a bunch of sex offenders that get stabbed anywhere else, or like a bunch of people that told on somebody to get their sentence reduced, they get stabbed anywhere else, and then a few smitterings of cops and shit that had fucked up and now they're in prison, so they got to put them somewhere where they don't get killed. And I mean, it was okay. The conditions were better. I ran a little store in there, so I had some money. A couple people sent me like books.
Hold on. You ran a store inside the federal prison?
Yeah, out of my locker, bro. That's a hustle.
Tell me what that means.
All right. So you go to your canteen and you buy your limit, like $100, and you put that in your locker, and then all right, somebody comes and they're like, give me a Snickers bar, and then when the commissary day comes, you have to give me back 2. Or you can flat out buy things.
So you have a locker with a combination or a padlock? How does that work?
Yeah. It's got a combination padlock, like what you got at
is it a removable padlock? Like you can grab. And that's
and then people that beat each other up.
I think someone's gonna put that in a pillowcase and beat me with it.
Well, they do that in there. They beat each other with locks and shit. And
padlocks. You got a locker. You fill up your locker so other people don't have as much money per se. So you say I give you a Snickers bar, you owe me 2 when it's time for you to get your commissary?
Yeah, there you go. Because the commissary is only like once a week, right? But my store is 24 hours. You can come and get shit whenever. So, yeah.
What other kind of trade deals were you making? So Snickers bar, and then what else? Give me another example.
What else? I used to sell things for people in there. I was a salesman.
Is that anything you can be specific about?
Nah, no drugs and weird shit like clothing, a lot of clothing. Like someone will come from another compound. Each prison, when you get transferred, they let you take your shit and fed. So you can be up in like New Jersey and transfer from a prison to come down here. But that prison over there will sell like an exclusive pair of Nikes that they don't offer on this yard, right? So when you bring it here, it's worth like $200 or $300 in stamps. So what? I know, bro. They have what they call it's a book of stamps, and the value of it's like $10. So $300 is like 30 books of stamps. So when someone would come off the bus, I would be like, "Hey man, let me sell some of your shit for you, so you got some money in here." And then you're like, "How much you want for the sneakers, bro? I can get you like $200." So then you take the sneakers and then you go around. I used to say, gentlemen, check out these new sneakers, and like walk around like when the cops aren't in there, and then I'd sell them, and then I'd make like $100 on it.
When the guards weren't around?
Yeah, because if they catch you, selling shit and all that, then they confiscate it.
How big is your locker?
It's like, how big is the locker? It's like maybe like the bottom of like a small rolling toolbox that you'd buy at like Lowe's for like $120. Like the bottom one, like where the 2 doors open and like that.
3 sliding doors.
Yeah. And then there's shelves in there, and actually selling shelves is a hustle too, because everybody steals the shelves. So You can either make shelves for new people that come, or you can go and get the shelves from somebody that's got them and then sell them to them. Everything's for sale in there.
Shelves.
Shelves, bro. Everything's.
You have like,
I'm
you have like
serious.
basically a little prison economy going there.
Bro, like 100%. There was
How-
clothing
how
for sale.
How do you pass the time? Like,
Let me see. Well, I enjoyed doing my hustles of store and selling stuff, and then when I wasn't doing that, I like to read books. Like
okay.
there's a prison legal news, which teaches you a lot about law and case filing and shit. And so I would get that and I'd read that. Then also you entertain your time by meals because like everything is like structured, bro. So you have breakfast chow, which I would never go to because the food's almost inedible. They give you this hard cereal that's made in Guatemala that's like glass when you try and eat it, and like spoiled milk. That's another thing, bro. If you can get fresh milk from the kitchen, you can sell that shit in the dorm and make great money. Then lunch comes, dinner. Then they'll have yard time berries for which day of the week it is.
What time was lunch?
They'll call out units, so but usually between like 11:30 and like 1:30.
So every day it was breakfast. 11:30 comes lunch. What time was dinner?
Dinner, depending on what that your unit is, between 4:30 and 6 o'clock, and then after that they have what's called stand-up count at 6:30, where you have to stand up to show the people that you're not dead or stabbed or something when they come around and count everybody. Because before they didn't do that, and people would get stabbed or die, and people would just put them in bed like they're sleeping. So when the guard would walk by and count them, it looks like they're like just sleeping, but they're actually dead in there.
Wow, dude.
Bro, it's a different world, bro. It's a different world, man.
I'm sure. Was it a dorm, or was that a certain time of the day where everyone was one person per cell, two people per cell? How's that work?
Well, the Fed has a serious problem with overcrowding. Okay, so they have what's called a 3-man cell that they've been sued for, which is illegal, which I had for most of the time. So there'll be a bunk bed, and then there's this shitty thing they call a boat, which is like a plastic shoe that you sleep on so that you don't freeze on the cement floor. And they put another guy in there like that next to y'all, and he lives, and it's sort of open bay, but not. There's no lock on your door. You don't even have a door. It's just like cement blocks, like a cubicle. And then so you can go like in and out whenever. Because I was at a low, I wasn't at a medium, because my points didn't bring me up to that because I didn't have an extensive criminal history, and that's usually how they do your points, to go to low, medium, high, to the pin, which you don't want to go to. And yeah, so it's like that. It's like a cubicle with like 2 bunks and then a guy on the floor sleeping.
So how do you know when you fall asleep, someone random inmate's not just going to come and jab you?
Well, you don't, bro, but that's also why you don't try and like make a lot of enemies and piss people off in there. Because usually when that's happening, especially at a low like that, like to be at a low, you have to have less than 10 years left on your sentence and shit. And also what helped me out a lot, well, wait, let me finish that. So like a lot of people in there just trying to get out, so they're not really that incentivized to really stab a motherfucker. Like it does happen, but they're taking a risk. Like when they do that, like I only got like 7 years left. So I'm going to stab this guy over $20 in stamps he owes me, and maybe I'll go do another like 30 years. So you know what I mean? But now when you're at the medium and stuff like that, where people like
some people want to stay longer.
I never really saw anybody that wanted to stay longer. Now I've seen institutionalized people that they can't really function outside of the prison, but at the same time, I don't think they want to be there.
All right. So besides your freedom, what'd you miss the most while you were in there?
Well, freedom, mainly, obviously, even though you excluded that. But I don't know, not being like an animal and not being around shitty people all the time. And
would you have done anything differently? After all that, would you have done anything different?
Yeah, bro. I should have went to Orlando. Oh man, I forgot to tell you about that. That was another thing that put me off the thing. Was just before that shit at the gun range. There was a guy that broke into my house here in Port Charlotte and trying to like rob me and shit. And I shot that guy. And the female detective was trying to make up a story that I tortured him and did all this stuff that wasn't true and lured him to the house.
Did you know the guy?
No. So supposedly he was a cousin of an acquaintance that I did kind of know. And I think he had told him that I own a lot of guns. So the guy was trying to break in and steal my guns and shit. And then
break in and you shoot him, and what was the outcome of that?
Well, he lived, which from another thing I heard from a lawyer isn't that good. From what he told me, when you shoot somebody in self-defense, it's not good to have two stories. So
yeah, I know that. Dead men tell no tales. Okay, so he survived and he started talking. Now what?
He survived. So then they took him to the like special care in Fort Myers because they have a bigger hospital than here. And then some really evil detective named Jeanette Tuck went over there and was like, "Oh, so tell me what happened." And I guess she was like literally like holding this guy's hand in bed and was like, "Yeah." And then so he tortured you, right? And he's, yeah. And then the guy told her some crazy story. You can actually look this up. Andy Sheets filed it on his channel, all the documents. So the guy gave a statement, that he'd done cocaine and Molly and didn't know where he was, and that someone told him that I had guns, so he decided he would break into my house, and because he happened to be in that neighborhood, and
So
that
I'd shoot that guy too. What's the difference? So I'd shoot him too. So what? What's that mean?
I know, man. You can't make it up, bro. And then that I had confronted him in the backyard with a live hand grenade and threatened to blow us both up and all this shit. But bro, this is the main reason why when she submitted this bullshit to the state attorney trying to get a warrant request on me for attempted murder and shit, that they rejected it. They said like, nah, we're not putting any charges on Mr. McGuire. We think this is self-defense. And
so nothing came of that legally, right?
Nah, nothing came of that except pissing me off. Like, why are these people so evil? Like
because they are. Because they are. So going back, I don't know if you answered me, but what would you have done? What would you have done different? Let's say.
Oh yeah, well, so when that shit happened, I had a debate in my mind going on. I was like, man, this shit with my dad, this shit at the gun range, this shit as a kid, like. So actually, what I did was I was like, man, I want to go somewhere where I don't get fucked with, bro. So I actually took a 4-day trip to Orlando and was looking around like, man, I should move up to this big city and like buy a house and get away from all these small town assholes and all this evil. And then I came back and I sat down and I had a thought like, no, man, I already own a house here. I like living here. You know, I'm going to stay here and fight these people because that shit was shooting the guy and then the gun range was very close together, like a couple months. And if I'd have gone to Orlando, bro, I'd have never had any of these fucking problems. I should have done that.
So what you would have done different was leave Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda, and move to Orlando back then.
And not audit and just go on with my life and be a normal person and not have dealt with any of this hell and misery that I've been forced to go through. Yeah.
So what's the first thing you want to do when you got out of jail, prison?
Well, my initial thing was I thought about just fleeing the country and telling them to go fuck themselves because
go to Canada?
Go to Canada or somewhere and see if they'll extradite me and bring me back because I really didn't feel like I owed this lady all this money. And I felt like, because I literally got the maximum sentence they can give for that stalking shit when they dropped the some of the other charges was 5 years. It only carries 5 years, and that's what I got. And now I had to sit on paper for 3. So, but people were begging me like, no, just do the little like year, because it says in the law that after a year of supervised release, if you comply with all their shit, you know, whatever restitution, whatever community service, whatever you can file to get off. They're like, just try and do it the right way. And, you know, probably after a year, they'll let you off. And then, you know, I was kind of like somewhat brainwashed at the time, thinking, you know, maybe I have done some things wrong and maybe I've misjudged these people and some of it is my fault. So, you know what, maybe I'll just do that and then I'll get off after a year, you know. Well, I went and did that shit and that shit didn't work. So, and now here I am.
So what's the first thing you did when you got out? Day one.
Well, I had to meet with the probation, so I didn't really do anything my first day. I had to, because they come and check your address, and that kind of makes you have a hell, because anywhere you go, there can't be drugs, guns, or other felons, or you can't live there. But luckily, there was a guy here in town that took me in that knew me from my channel. So after my first day was a wash, but I think the second day, I think I went out to eat. I had steak, and it's an unwinding process, man. Getting out of prison like that, it ain't just like, you know.
I bet there's some PTSD involved in there because you're so used to 4 years of being in that environment. Now you get out, and you got to like rewire.
Well, that's it. Right? It was a combination of that, and then also a feeling like I'm being hunted, because I knew I was back in Port Charlotte, which I actually wasn't trying to do, because when I got released from the halfway house was in Tampa. So I was actually trying to save up enough money to be able to rent a room there, because I figured, you know what, as soon as I'm back at Port Charlotte, they're going to start messing with me again and trying to violate the probation with some nonsense bullshit. So, but when they cut my halfway house short, like what I told you what happened, I had no choices. I didn't have any resources, and you can't be homeless on the supervision or they can violate you for that shit. So, because you don't have an address where they can check on you.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right. So since 2023, you've been out. So we're talking since what year, what month in 2023?
March of 2023, bro. And I had no intention of coming back.
Just over 2 years, and someone took you in. You said in
yeah, and I was living there. I was living there for about a year and a half, and then here in Port Charlotte, off of Higgs Drive.
And what? And you started working?
Oh, I was working from when I got out, bro, because that's a requirement of supervision. You have to have a full-time job.
What were you doing?
Well, shit, man, it was hard, bro. Every time I try to get hired somewhere, someone would come in there and let the beans out, you know, or let the cat out of the bag. So then they'd be afraid to hire me. So finally, I got hired at KFC because they were desperate for people.
Okay.
And I worked at KFC as a fry cook for over a year, frying chicken.
I worked there when I was a young kid. Nothing wrong with that. It's a job. Go on.
Yeah, and then
they still put the, hey, listen. Do they still have those bird cages that like split open?
Yeah, that's what you put your chicken in. Yeah.
So they want you to do it 8-piece. They want you to do each piece of chicken per shelf, right? Well, I would always do all drums and then all wings and then all breasts. Am I wrong?
Well, you're supposed to do it like that, but I would just kind of stick all the shit in there like whatever and just drop it in, because they're usually they sell it almost. Yeah.
So
they're supposed to have two books of that one.
You know the bag they give you that you cut open with scissors and then you dump it into the flour with all the herbs and spices in it?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to like take a little sample of that and send it off to a lab.
For all the shit that might be in it?
No, just so I can actually learn their recipe. I think their recipe is the best.
Oh.
But anyway. So you worked at KFC for a year and a half. Then what? Go from there.
Well, I left KFC to try and find a better job because they had a big resort here, that thing that opened, and then that didn't work out because of haters. So I had to go to labor finders for a while. I was doing day labor.
Okay.
And I was initially planning on buying a vehicle, but the probation guy told me that if I paid the restitution, he'd see if I could be self-employed, because I was already driving around picking up scrap in between. I was making more money doing that than really working a regular job. So I just went and I just
Scrapping's not easy because you need a lot of damn weight to make some real money. Like, what can I ask? Like, what's the most you brought in a day? Scrapping.
I mean, I just had a check wrote to me for $1,300 from the junkyard, but it depends on what you bring. That day, I brought them in 3 cars at one time, 3 junk cars.
I was gonna say you must have had tons and tons of weight to make $1,300.
You don't make it off steel. Steel's like $5 every 100 pounds. You don't make that's steel's kind of like the fat girl at the bar, bro. That ain't what you're going out looking for. It's just sometimes what you get stuck with. You know what I'm saying?
What is it?
So
What is it that you want to scrap the most then?
oh man, aluminum, copper, wire, brass,
What was the last thing you
cars,
said? What'd you say before cars?
brass.
Oh, brass. Like, where do you find that
brass.
besides the gun range?
No, well, brass comes in a lot of forms. Doorknobs, shit for plumbing has a lot of brass in it.
Oh, okay. And you strip all that down, or you just kind of grab it, throw it in a trailer?
You separate it. Well, like if you get a piece of, like a lot of times, you'll get copper, but like it'll have like the little brass knobs on it, you know, and then you cut those off and separate it.
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
really, most of the time when I'm out driving, I'm just driving, picking up shit. But what I'm really looking for is junk vehicles. Like if I see a junk car in someone's yard, I go up and like knock on the door and try and buy that shit from them for a couple $100. Then I go junk it and make $300-400.
Oh, that's great. So and how do you
That's
get
where
the
the money is,
car?
bro.
And how do you get the car? Like, how do you remove the car from the yard?
I got a dolly. Well, I got a dolly that a car dolly.
So
Put that shit on the car dolly and take it right to the dump.
I just watched a video of yours where you're going basically in a neighborhood during garbage day. And this is something that's been going on for decades and decades and decades. When I was a kid in Ohio, we called them garbage pickers. Every night, there'd be a car that slowly drives by, looks at everybody's garbage. So you were doing that. Where was it? Port Charlotte or Punta Gorda?
That was in Punta Gorda. And then this is another thing. See, you know what I found in my experience auditing is you have events that trigger things. And listen to this, John, man. On my life to God, as I sit here and speak to you, right? When I got out of prison, I didn't want to fuck with these people anymore, bro. I just want to do my little time on paper and leave the country and be gone. And so then they decided to make this Nazi law. I don't know if they did it because they knew I was picking up scrap, but I could believe that because they enjoy evil. But so they decided that now in Punta Gorda, if you put your old water heater or something out by the road and I come and take it, they're going to come up and fine me for it. So
what is that, an ordinance or what is that?
Yeah, it's an ordinance. So when they did that shit, I was like, you know what, man? Now you guys say I can't even earn a living. It's like you want to take the dignity from people. You know, like I haven't been successful in being able to hold down a job here that's not like fast food and doesn't even pay anything. So I had to make my own shit. And then now you want to come take it. When I haven't bothered you, I've done nothing, man. I've laid low, even though you've harassed me for months.
Yeah,
Because
Go ahead.
Because they did a lot of shit to me prior to that I let slide, bro. When I bought my new trailer, we'll have to talk about this. Someone gave me a trailer on the discount that needed like hub bearings and the lights and shit were bad on it. So listen to this, bro. I bought this trailer. I had it in my front yard. This is the true story. I had it in my yard. I was underneath it. I went to Harbor Freight, got the lights. I was underneath the trailer, wiring the lights, minding my own business in my front yard here, right? Haven't messed with these people in years. I see these green little legs, bro, like a lizard, come across the side of the trailer, like sheriff's office color pants, and the little shiny black gay shoes. And I was like, man, I thought maybe I was hallucinating, bro. When I saw it walk, listen, bro, I saw it walk up and down the side of the trailer, and I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on? And then then a voice came, well, can you step out from there, please? And then so I came out, and there's a cop there, bro. And he's like, yeah, so you stole this trailer? And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? And he's like, yeah, there was a trailer stolen from just down the street that matches this description. And I was like, bro, I bought this fucking trailer. And then, so that he's like looking around, he went and got in his car, and then he came back. And because I'm on supervision, I have no choice but to comply with them and give them ID and all that, because you can't refuse them on anything. So then he came back and he's like, okay, yeah, so this isn't the right trailer. And then this is after he got in his car and called my probation and shit. And then after he left, the probation guy called me, asked what was going on. And I'm like, I don't know. They thought I stole the fucking trailer, bro. And it wasn't me. And then they've harassed me several times because when I registered the trailer in Florida, if you have an old plate, I happen to have a motorcycle that I sold. So I had the old small plate. They pulled me over. The one cop stopped me over here off of Easy Street and was accusing me of stealing the plate from a motorcycle and putting it on the trailer. And I was like, bro, it's registered to this. I was on the side of the road over them for an hour. And the supervisor finally came out and was smart enough to run the plate, and it came back to the trailer. Amongst several other things with them. And I just couldn't take it anymore, man. When you told me I couldn't make a living, I got to fight back, bro.
So, okay. So when you say fight back now, they've passed an ordinance that you can't go into people's garbage. Didn't they also say in this video that you are not allowed to go knock on their door and ask to take the stuff?
Yeah, that's it too. Yeah. You can't even go and knock on the people's door and ask them for it, bro, because that's called soliciting. They'll ticket you for that too.
So you can't do anything in Punta Gorda. You can't use the F word.
No.
Huh?
No, you can't. Well, actually, I think Sheets got that repealed because he sued him.
You realize that Sheets has a case law now called Sheets versus Punta Gorda that they use against the rest of us when we go to DMVs and stuff.
I've heard something about that, but what's that? Well, we'll have to get into that later. My battery's going to die. I might have to go inside and try and plug the phone in. But
hey, wait.
But
okay, listen. Let's just do some closing here. Now you have a channel.
Well, wait, man. We'll wait for I still got about 20%.
Okay, go ahead. All right. So we're running.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Sheets or anything, but like I said, I do believe he sued the city of Punta Gorda, and I think he got that F thing dismissed, or they voluntarily took it away. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I don't believe that currently that the F word ordinance is in place.
Oh, that's good, at least. All right, so you got a new channel now. You started a new channel because, like you're saying, you can't do anything. You're trying to do the right thing. Yeah. You started your own little scrapping thing, and now scrapping is illegal. Now garbage picking is illegal. Now knocking on someone's door to ask them to scrap their old cars. They made everything illegal.
I know, bro. Everything's illegal.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly, bro. Everything's illegal. I mean, it's like, damn, bro. You know, I don't mean to toot like my own horn, bro, but I can tell you this much, John. Most people that get out of prison tend to do what they call recidivate, which means commit another crime and go back within like 2 years. I'm out here doing everything the fucking people say, paying off the restitution, not causing any fucking problems, supporting myself. I'm not on any kind of public assistance. Theoretically, I'm doing all the things they should like, and then they come up with shit to try and stop me from doing it.
Right. The bottom line is they want kids to go to that indoctrination center, learn that the police and the government's great, go be a wage slave for X amount of dollars an hour, pay half your income to income tax, and don't ever go against the grain. And we are the exact opposite of what they want. So then they form little tiny communist Nazi congresses like they do in Punta Gorda, where they want to restrict speech, garbage, everything that they don't like and they don't want in their neighborhoods. Because they don't like it, your freedom has to end and your constitutional rights have to stop.
Correct, sir. I mean, I just made a payment to the IRS. Matter of fact, I screenshotted it. I don't know if you can get it on your thing, but I pay taxes, bro. I just sent $1,000 bill to the IRS today that I have to pay every 3 months because part of having your own business on supervision is you have to get an LLC and make it legitimate. So I have to pay taxes. I'm forced to pay these people, bro.
I believe you.
I'm forced to pay them to turn around and terrorize me when I'm trying to do the right shit. That's the only reason, like, I feel compelled to, like, come out of retirement and come audit again, because I'm like, damn, I just don't know what to make of it.
So in closing, you're going to be doing more auditing, I'm assuming.
Yes, and I'd like to get my channel up to where I got lots of subscribers and people watching. So if you could share a link to my channel on here and let
the link
other auditors.
The link to your channel is already in the description. The name of your channel is Ian McGuire, spelled IAN space MCGUIRE. He's got about, how many subs right now? 61 or something like that. Yeah, 63 subs. Guys, if you want to see what Ian's doing and what he's going to be doing in the future, he used to have a channel called Hate the State, and it had how many tens of thousands of subs, right?
Yeah, there was one point I think I had 46,000.
So there you go. And
I'm actually
go ahead.
And I'm actually thinking about changing the name to something. I just haven't really found.
Your name's fine, dude.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. What's my channel name?
John Felix. I guess you're right, man.
That's
Ian McGuire.
That's who I am. That's who you are, right?
I guess the name's recognizable.
Yeah, we know who Ian McGuire is. So give a closing statement. Tell everybody whatever you want them to hear, and we'll call it a day, man.
All right. Well, I'm just, if anyone could know anything about me, I'm just trying to do the right thing. We've all made mistakes in our past, but I'm definitely going to be auditing from this point out. It's not the same game it was. They got this 25-foot restriction now with the cops, which I haven't quite figured out how to get around, because I have to be careful of being arrested, because that'll violate my supervision, which I know they want to do. Here recently, there was a thing where a guy sprayed me with mace, and they never prosecuted this individual.
Yeah,
but
I saw that was crazy, actually. Yeah, go on.
Hey, John, did you see where another guy went up and sprayed somebody in the face with shit here, and he went right to jail?
Dude, I believe that there's a two-tiered system. I know the video you showed me, the guy literally just ran up. Not only did he spray you with pepper spray, he ran after you, sprayed you with pepper spray.
I know.
The whole time he was saying that he was going to pew you on top of it all.
I know, bro. And that was actually the second time, because the first time I didn't film it because I was just standing there next to my friend, and the guy came up to us and sprayed us and then walked in the store. So while my friend called the cops, when the guy came out, I was waiting by the truck. And that's why I was asking him, so you like to spray people with mace? And then I called the cops and reported it. And then they filled out a warrant request against me for assault.
Assault against who?
I can't make it up, bro. There's a public records request that I got. I'll forward you when I hang up. They filled out a thing for assault. And then not even a month later, some other guy does it, and not even an hour later, he's down in booking. You're not just allowed to go spray people in the face with shit because they pissed you off.
Dude,
but if it's me,
that guy committed a crime against you. He ran after
he's unpunished,
you,
bro.
He ran after you. I don't know, man. Maybe send that to Attorney General of Florida. Maybe send it to the county attorney. I don't know what to say about that. That's crazy. You literally filmed him running after you, spraying you, plain as day. He sprayed so much of that pepper spray, he ran out, and the pressure ran out, and the spray was like drizzling on an arc.
Yeah, I know, bro.
It couldn't be any more clear. What he did to you, ran after you, kept claiming that you were going after him when you kept retreating. You were retreating so much the spray couldn't reach you the second time. Like, that's as plain as day. You might have to figure out how to do pro se lawsuits, man. I mean, that's where it's getting to this point where we have to figure out how to be our own lawyer, file pro se lawsuits, and go from there, because that it's so obvious that they hate you and they don't want to enforce
the law, bro. And that's their job, right? Hey, look, here's the cop's perspective, right? That I can't agree to because I use logic and reason, right? You want me to respect you and that you're the guy that enforces the law and does all this shit, right? But when there's an allegation that I've done something wrong, there's 12 of y'all on top of
Yeah,
me. But
exactly.
when there's an allegation with proof that someone did something to me, y'all don't even give a fuck, and then in fact try to turn it against me, so I go to jail. How can I respect you? And then you try to stop me from working. You try to
They don't
accuse
care.
me of
That's the
anything I
thing.
have stolen.
They don't care
I
if you
mean,
respect. They don't care. Nothing's ever
wow.
going to happen to them. Their egos are gigantic. We got to figure out a different way. So, in closing, everyone, please subscribe to Ian. Thank you so much for coming on, dude. Call me whenever, text me whenever, join TAC, and I'll send you the Discord. I think I sent you the Discord link, and you can get your
Yeah,
ideas
how
on
often
there.
do you guys do the Discord?
The Discord is open public chat. Just anytime you feel like it. Yeah, post something in there.
Well, next time that you're on it, let me know. And if you want to do another interview in a month or so, man, I'm always game, you know.
I'd like to do it after you're completely off probation so you could speak openly, man.
Okay. All right. Well, that works.
Fair? All right.
I guess we'll shoot for April 1st then.
There you go, brother. Thank you so much for coming on, Ian.
Thank you, John. No problem, man. Anytime.
Pleasure to meet you.
No problem. You too.
See you, bro. See you. Bye.
All right.
All right, everybody. There's Ian. I spoke to him on the phone a little bit, but before that, I've never spoke to him. Seemed like a nice enough guy. I can only take him at face value right now. He says what it is. I can't prove it otherwise. It's not like you can trust the government. So, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to him. If you don't like him, unsubscribe later on. But this is him just trying to scrap. He's looking for scrap, and here come two cops to write him a ticket for trying to scrap, trying to make a living.
You're well aware.
Hey, man. Well, you know what? Like I said, y'all don't want to be fucked with. You don't want to be filmed. You don't want to be put on the fucking internet. But you want to fuck with somebody all the time.
That's so true, and he keeps cussing. He likes to cuss. All right, so subscribe to Ian if you want to see what he's doing and what the future holds for Ian. He's one of the originals, 2015, 2016, 2017. That's right when I started doing this stuff too, not auditing. I've had a channel since 2011, but 15, 16, 17, 18 is when I really started rolling with the activism stuff on YouTube, and he was right there. Here's a Discord link for anybody who wants to join our Discord. And that's it, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thanks, Ian, for coming on. Hopefully you stay out of trouble and you don't cross don't cross the line too much, man. And if you have to go to Canada, man. No one can blame you at this point. You did almost 4 years behind bars for what? They blamed you for something somebody else did. I hope that's true, man. I hope that you didn't tell or put anybody up to that stuff. And I'm going to take you at face value because I don't know any better. And I don't trust the government. So if someone said, trust Ian or trust the government, I'm going to take Ian every time. And if I was a betting man. So that's it. All right. There's our Discord on the screen. Eyes on the State put up. Here's also Ian McGuire's channel right there. His channel is also in the description. And I appreciate everybody coming on, and let's do some oh yeah, let's do some sound effects. Oh shit. Yeah. No. Yes. Here's how I love starting the show. Oh, yeah.
Yo, hold up, what's the 411 on this cat? He's a cop watcher, a truth teller, laying it all bare, shining a light on injustice, showing he just don't care about their intimidation tactics, that twisted up lies. He's got a camera in their face, watching with his own eyes.
All right, right on, everyone. Thanks everyone for coming, man. Give Ian a sub. If you don't like what he's doing, unsub later. What can I say? If you like what he's doing, sub some more. Watch his videos. And that's it. Tomorrow I'm probably going to cover Liberty Trolls DMV audit. We both went to the DMV, the infamous Land O'Lakes DMV. He was headed out there on his own. He called me like 15 minutes beforehand, and I live close by, so I went up there to back him up, and it was quite the scene, man. They responded like it was a mass pew-pew event. Go to Liberty Trolls channel and watch his last video he just put up from the DMV here in Pasco County. In the meantime, much love. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Going down the street in my hoopty, feeling the bass, see them blue and reds flashing all up in my space. Another traffic stop, another power truck display. License and registration is all they ever say, but I know